Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. And today I'd like to talk about rental apartments, the place where you cannot make too many changes. For many people, renting is some sort of a limitation, no drilling, no painting, no big intervention, yet I feel like rental space can still feel calm and personal and well designed as long as you understand what actually matters in the interior. And this video is all about how to work with those limits and not against them. When you live in a rental apartment, the flexibility is more important than perfection. The goal is not to transform the apartment forever, it's to adjust it to your current lifestyle, to the changes that you are seeing right now, which are easy to undo. And a good rental design is all about the adjustment and not commitment. Let's start with the color. Even if you cannot paint the walls, you still can play around the colors that you have around your house. It's all about textile, rugs, curtains, bedding, furniture, even books and other objects of a design can help you to create this perfect aura and atmosphere. At this moment, all my walls, not only in this room but everywhere, they are white, which makes it perfect for me to work around them. Why? First of all, that's the number one rule that I'm following, that if I do something in this house, I can undo it, I can patch it back. So you see these shelves, they are not originally here. I put them myself, and I know that once I have to take them down, I can patch the work and put it into the plain white. However, if you have the colors of a tint of beige, for instance, or some even other color, then the paintwork becomes a little bit more restricted, because you have to find the perfect match to the color, to the original color. Thus, I don't recommend you to do big changes over the wall if you're not sure that you can put it back as it was. White walls give you flexibility. So at this point, a neutral color such as white is actually playing to your advantage. It allows you to change the atmosphere by changing fabrics, materials, and even adding extra elements to your design. Instead of painting, think of layers. Back to the point where I mentioned that I have my shelves installed. So some of the landlords, I would say most of the landlords, they go against the rule that you can drill something in their own apartment, which makes sense. You will damage the wall. However, white walls are easy to repair after the drill. Patching, sanding, and repainting. 3 steps, 3 pillars of white wall, and easy. A few small holes can actually be easily fixed when you move out, without even landlord knowing that you did something there. The real problem lays within the tinted walls. So once you drill them, patching becomes difficult. As I mentioned before, you have to work with the color, finding the perfect tint, the perfect layer, the perfect everything to make it look and work as it was. So the rule is simple: white walls, flexibility; tinted walls, restriction. But be careful, you still can work over those. Let's talk about how to fix the design with no drilling at all. Well, in this case, you can use adhesive hooks. Be careful with those as well. Some of them can stick to the wall way too hard, and once you rip them off, they take part of the wall with them. So those are not always good solution. I had this experience in a different room where I put the hooks, and once I removed it, it left a nice patch that is quite visible with a part of the wall, and it was not a pleasant surprise for me. Another thing that you can use is leaning frames instead of the wall-mounted art. Excellent choice, excellent use. You still have the art in your room, yet you're not drilling, and it will be easy movable, so you can freely readjust the center of it or go a little bit against the center and put it to the side, whatever you feel at the moment. You can use floor lamps instead of the wall lights. You can use the hanging lights as well if you have the hook, which allows you to do so. Look at this great solution found in IKEA, which gives you extra storage space, which basically mounts over the drawer, and you can readjust what you want, and it's a perfect color white which can be repainted, so easy solution. So at this point, let's summarize it. A rental place doesn't need to look fixed, it needs to look intentional at the moment for you. Furniture and layout matter more than anything else in the house. So I would say the biggest mistake of the rental apartment is focusing on what do I do with the walls? Nothing. At the first moment you don't do anything. What you want to concentrate your attention on is layout, the furniture size and spacing, which would matter much more. Of course, if you have big wall L-shaped sofa and you cannot move it anywhere, then you have to play around it. Yet it's still possible. Hard, but possible. You can completely change how rental place looks by moving furniture away from the walls, adding extra space, or cutting the space, thus dividing the room in halves or thirds depending on how big is the room. This will define zones, especially if you use rugs. You can check the previous video on rugs, which will help you understand more about them. Rugs create a different section of the room easily by placing them and removing them. And of course, I would suggest you to concentrate on pieces of art. You either choose fewer and better pieces, which will separate the room entirely to something different. You know, when it comes to readjustment, it has to be easy readjustable at the moment you need to do this. So if you want to buy a nice bookshelf, let's call it up to the ceiling book storage, wonderful, you can buy it, you can afford it, I believe in you. Think about one thing. Once you have to move out, what are you going to do with it? Are you going to take it part by part, piece by piece, and move it to another house and think, will it actually fit the ceiling? This where the problem lays. Unfortunately, I'll call it a problem. You want to buy something, but you're not always able to do this. Why? The space limitation, unfortunately, the moving limitation, and unexpected turnouts of the life. So whenever you buy something for your house, you have to consider, do I need it? Can I move it out later? Can I sell it with the rent if I'm taking back my deposit? That's the things that you have to keep in mind whenever you go shopping. Of course, you need a couch, you will buy a couch. Once again, the big drawers, the big storage rooms, the big bookshelves, those create a little bit of limitation. You have to consider, what are your goals in life? What is your job at the moment? Where do you live? Which city you live in? What is the next step? So you kind of have to play this game of chess, anticipating what might happen next. What if? That's the question you have to keep in mind when you are layering your rental place. You have to choose the solutions which will be easy to move, easy to remove, and easy to adapt. So to summarize, you don't need to paint the colors over the walls, so keep them as it is. The drilling in white walls is often manageable. The tinted walls are much harder to fix. The furniture and layout matter more than walls. Rental design should always allow readjustment. Good design doesn't depend on the ownership, it depends on understanding your working space. Well guys, if you live in a rental, don't wait for your future house to be comfortable. It's all in your hands, and you can create a calm and character house right now without any permanent changes. Well, if you have any extra suggestions, please leave the comment in the comment section and we can discuss it together. I hope you found this video useful for yourself, so I'll see you around in the next video. Take care of yourself and make your rental house look nice and cozy. Take care, guys. Goodbye.